Hi, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching and listening to another edition of Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media on all of our channels and networks. I'm Mike Morales in sweltering Southern California. That gentleman out there is.
I'm Bryce Taylor in Austin, Texas.
He won't even say sweltering in Austin, Texas. He refuses to even acknowledge it's hot. That's
Yeah,
like,
it's just
okay.
it's the norm.
Yeah.
So
By the way, if he's familiar to you, you might know him as the Austin Tequila Connoisseurs. If you don't follow him on social media, please do follow him on his Instagram. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Yeah, we're still calling it Twitter too.
mm,
Um, and you know, anywhere where you talk about tequila and subscribe to our newsletter. So the special thing that we have going today that we're going to do, oh, excuse me, is we have the well, we'll just call it Lagrimas, which is tears. Um, and as you can see, I've had several spillage. I've had these bottles on my living room floor for
mm,
weeks, maybe months.
yeah.
And Bryce has been a good guy, hasn't opened his yet because he's too busy working on some of the other stuff that he works on. Um, but this one is the Plata, and if you guys who are following this brand, they use separate huertas, separate fields. They're doing very much the vintage situation that Ocho does, and this one is the La Loma, which from all the other reviews that the bits and pieces that I've gotten in the last few months, it's a stellar. It's just, people are falling all over themselves trying to collect this particular. It's like Ocho. You're trying to find that field, you're trying to collect it, drink one, keep one, drink one, keep one, and this is the Plata, so it's the unaged, and it is coming in at a high proof. This is a 46
mm.
ABV. So, anyway, what else can we say about this before we pour the juice and,
Well, this field is also the first time that they're using agaves out of Michoacan.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's where their fields are. And you can grow agave in Michoacan. You can distill it in Michoacan as well. Because as we know, for those of you who are familiar with the normas, there are 5 different states in Mexico that you can grow and produce tequila
Right.
legally, and Michoacan is one of them. I think Michoacan is also a territory where they can where they grow espadín or they can make mezcal as well, I believe.
I think so.
Certain areas of Michoacan you can grow for
Yeah.
for making for making mezcal. Keep thinking sotol. I don't know why, but
Yeah, yeah, no, it's northern
yeah.
Mexico.
So
Yeah,
anyway,
so
let's just pour the juice and drink it because
yeah, for
for
sure.
those of you who know, if you know, you know. I'm going to be using a Stossel unbranded Jarrito Wide Mouth for the higher proofs. Um, I should stop calling them. Yes, bright.
I've got the standard, but we do have the logoed here.
Oh, yes, we do have the
Aficionado.
Tequila Aficionado, the official glassware of sipping off the cuff. I mean, it's official now, so we're kind of
Yeah.
married. We're kind of married now, but anyway, I'm gonna pour mine in this wider proof, the higher proof one, even though the box says that the standard proof is still good up until what, 46? So it's kind
Yeah,
of
I think
cut off
so.
the cutoff
I'm
point.
using the standard just because it's the Plata or a Blanco. I still like it in the standard glass.
Okay.
And the Repo, I'll use the whiter, the higher proof.
I
I still like the concentration of the,
of the vapors.
yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know if you could tell on my camera here, I kind of toned down a little bit, but it's pristine.
Mm,
It is gorgeous. I mean, it's shiny, as I like to say.
I mean, yeah.
And the legs and tears are just starting to form beautifully on this glass. I mean, it's almost mercurial. It's got a sheen to it. Even though I'm sure they're not using anything. This is just, do we know how old the agaves are that they're harvesting on this one? Does it even give us that?
Let's see if they said. No, I mean they said The average bricks was 38%.
Holy cow.
Yeah, so that's high.
That's
I
substantial.
don't see an age statement on the
You
agaves.
know, and the bricks is what was actually driving the market, not necessarily the age of the plant itself. But I would venture to say that it's got to be over 5 years old for that many
Yeah,
bricks.
I would think so. And I mean, this is also a partnership. So I mean, it's made, of course, at Cascahuin. Chava is the master distiller, but Altamar Spirits is partnering with the Rosales family. So they both have an ownership. So I can't imagine that there's any corners being cut.
Yeah, I
And it
mean,
looks like it's a blend of two different tequilas here because it says that they're using Tahona and roller mill, and then also wood fermentation tanks, and also stainless steel tanks, and then one with fibers and one without. So I'm guessing they're making
wow,
two different platas and marrying them together.
wow, that's labor intensive.
Yeah.
Wow. So they're not even it's like it well this is what Patron does. It's been doing it for years since they started. But it's even they're taking it even one more step further and fermenting with fibers. That's Siempre does that with their Vivo
Mhm.
and that's traditionally how mezcal is made, with fibers. But they stopped doing that for tequila decades ago, probably during one of the revolutions, I believe. But oh my gosh,
Yeah.
wow. And even though it's 46, I'm not getting a whole lot of alcohol in this thing.
No.
It's very subtle. It's not, I mean, it's there. You're gonna know it's
Yeah,
there.
I think if anything, it's more just a vessel to kind of give you the intensity of flavors, but not the alcohol vapors itself.
No. Yeah, nobody's eyebrows are getting singed today. Okay.
No,
So now
no, yeah, I mean,
I'm getting some deep fruitiness.
yeah,
Um,
citrus.
yeah, but also maybe some tropical fruit there. I mean, you could go mango or maybe lighter papaya.
Yeah,
No, mango is lighter, I think.
mango, I think.
And I was expecting a little bit more of the fibrousness that I get sometimes from mezcal. There's a denseness to the to the
Mhm.
to the aromas, and I'm not getting this. This is very bright.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Wow. And I'm getting some minerality. So are they using the deep well water? I think that's what they use at
yeah,
Cascahuin.
yeah. They've got deep well water, pour stone brick oven. I think that's all they have there. I think that's their only
Yeah, to
cook.
my knowledge, they don't even have they don't have an
Autoclave.
autoclave.
Yeah, I mean, they have the earthen pit that they use for the ancestral, but
Right, right. That's for like David Searle's Ancestral.
mm, yeah, and I get like just a little bit of earthiness, almost like a sage or something in there. It's just that's what I've been struggling with.
But
Is a
I
little
see, I don't know, you're calling it sage, and I get like a hint. It's kind of a cross between a little bit of anise, but more like in spearmint. I'm getting more mint, but it's at the
okay.
bottom of the glass, and maybe once it opens up a little bit more, and I mean I can't open up any more because this one's down to the my last
Yeah,
1/3 of the bottle, so
I'm also using a different glass, but yeah, man, yeah, it's a great nose. There's a lot going on. It's bright.
complex
Yeah,
complexities there. Yeah, I say we dive in. Let's
yeah, for
just
sure.
see what we get here.
Mm.
Mhm. Wow, that's intense, man.
Yeah, it is good. First sip,
Wow.
of course,
Wow.
it's. you're gonna get more of that the alcohol and kind of the pepper, the spiciness. But
Yeah.
even when it's just sitting on my palate, I'm getting the agave sweetness, it's still there, kind of as I let it kind of move around my gums and tongue. And then yeah, as soon as I kind of take a sip is when all that cinnamon and pepper come out, but it's good. Like it's nice.
It's intense. Wow, that was like a pepper explosion, and
Mhm.
like you said, lip and gum numbness was perfect. And honestly, there's a little bit of the sweet minerality. It's almost like the agave sweetness and the minerality of the water is lingering on the sides of my palate. It really coats your palate beautifully. And we got I noticed that when I saw the legs and tears. So when you told me it was like 38 bricks, that's
Mhm.
crazy. That's you're gonna. I know that the last review you and I did, you actually used the terminology, the Blanco was chewy, and I thought I was the only one that ever said that. But
Yeah,
this one really is substantial. It wasn't like chewy up front, but like it lingers. Oh my God. And then the alcohol gets more intense as you play with it in your on your palate.
right. It does. It definitely the alcohol definitely shows up, but it's not like that like the rubbing alcohol, like some high proofs are just that. It's just a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah.
alcohol.
Yep.
Yeah, this is, like I said
Even
earlier,
even one
it's just
like
the vessel for all those flavors.
I always warn people about Tapatio 110 because
Mm,
110 it really is dangerously good, but it's
mm.
so intense that if you start playing with your lip and gum the next morning, you've actually burned the inside of your mouth because it's that intense.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a second swig
Yeah.
here to find out because I didn't I spit mine out. I traditionally do that anyway. What kind of finish did you get on that first one?
It was a good finish. It ended a little quicker than I thought it would, but it's still a good, medium long finish.
It's got a very pleasant minerality, citrusy, tropical
Mm.
fruit kind of thing going on the nose.
Getting more of the fruit now than I did at
I
first.
didn't get the fibrousness. It's really interesting how bright this one is
Yeah.
because it's not like some of the mezcals where you've got that denseness, that aroma and the flavor is dense. This one didn't have that. It's very bright.
Yeah, I guess they use a stainless pot with a copper coil. So it's not a
Mm.
full copper still, which sometimes takes some of the brightness away. So maybe that stainless steel. uh,
Okay.
mm.
Now I got a little bit more of the denseness on my
Yeah,
second pass.
yeah,
And I got it more on the retronasal than I did actually in the on the palate itself. But it's so light. I mean, if you're not I'm looking for it because of the fibers. Every
mm,
time you hear fermented with fibers, you're going to get some kind of denseness, plant-like, paper-like, woodsy kind of flavor or um uh what do I call it? Mouthfeel. Okay.
mm.
You're gonna get that on the mouthfeel and you'll smell it on the retronasal. Sometimes it's right up in front. Other times it's very, very light, like it is here. I mean, it's not very prominent. So that's a credit to Chava because
Yeah.
you got to
Well,
be
and because
like
of the
crazy
blend,
good to be able to do that.
yeah, we don't have the percentages, so we don't know how much of that, if it's like a 20%, like I wouldn't just assume it's a 50-50.
Yeah,
So maybe our blend as well,
could be.
and good job.
Yeah. I let me swallow a little bit of it just to see what
Mm,
because I've not swallowed my first two passes and I still get this warm fuzzy like a finish. So I can only imagine this finish this thing on a those bitter cold Austin nights,
Mhm.
and there
Yeah.
are
Yeah,
there
there
are
are.
they're up north northern.
We get like
Uh,
6 of them a year. Yeah.
yeah, it's a um
Yeah.
it'll warm your cockles, man.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah. The kind of earthiness and minerality, the peppers come out on the finish. Right before the finish is just
mm.
that dense cooked agave. Yeah, it's
Now I'm getting now that I'm playing with it on the back end of my palate. You got to be real
Mhm.
careful when you do that. Um, I'm getting the green pepper. I'm getting, like you said, it's a sage. It's an herbal. It's an herbal
Yeah,
essence of some sort. I want to call it like a spearmint, but I'm not. I'm not getting that either.
yeah,
Um, I don't want to go jasmine because that's not herbal. That's a flower, so it's not flowery at all. But it is
yeah.
heavy on the citrus. It's bright, like a well-made. Actually, it's bright like a well-made mezcal, like an espadín. Because I've had
Mhm.
both kinds of espadín where you know the, the espadín just shines. It was bright, and at other times, depending on the process, it's got that dense woodsiness, that fermented fibrousness. That's what I call it, the fibrousness or an
Yeah.
earthiness. This is
Yeah,
this
I think it's a mix of kind of like savory and earthy. And that's why
yeah.
that's kind of think of sage in that sense. But yeah.
Yeah, it is rather savory, but right at the back of the palate.
Mhm.
I think all the magic happens right up in here because of the intensity, the explosion of pepper right up front. Right up front
Yeah.
to the palate, and on the back is when you get even a little bit more of the sweetness. Um, I, Brand of Promise nominee,
Yeah.
man. There's
It's
no doubt. This
it's
is
an
a
e-
high
it can
proof
easy call.
category. Their
Yeah.
process is crazy. You know, it's a single estate. And also we off camera we found out that they give you the meters how high it is. This is at this these are the plants are at a mile high
Yeah.
basically. It's a little over a mile high. So I mean, they're these plants are stressed out, um, and they're high bricks. So what are we looking at as far as price point on one of these? Because
So I saw it was, let's see here. I think like West Coast had it at 60, the big online retailer on the West Coast had it like 60, and I think Florida had it like 70. So between 60 and $70.
wow.
Yeah.
And you know
But
what? That's not bad for the labor intensity that it takes to do this.
yeah.
That's actually a good price.
I mean, Cascahuin is one of, depending on your own ranking, it's definitely a top five, if not like a top three, distillery. It's
Yes.
a high proof, so yeah,
Then you
I
got
think,
Chava Rosales,
mm,
behind it, the mastermind,
yeah,
who's
I think
just
he's third
crazy. He's one of
generation.
those guys is like you lump him into the mad scientists and like Carlos and Felipe and
Mm.
Sergio Cruz and all
Sergio,
those
yeah.
guys. They're just nuts. They're just creatively crazy and um, congratulations, man. That's amazing. This is the Plata, the unaged. If you've had it and you're using it, what do you use it for as far as a cocktail? Could you mix it with a cocktail? You could. I wouldn't. I don't think
Yeah,
Bryce would.
you could. No, I wouldn't, because there's just so many layers, and I don't know. I think it's like kind of beautifully balanced. You know, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna sip. I'm gonna sip on this one. And like you said, like on a cooler night, like yeah, that'd be perfect.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sitting around the fire pit or something like that,
yeah.
but
But if you did
yeah.
put it in cocktails, just make sure it's in a very agave forward, or a ranch water, maybe. I don't know. Nothing too complicated. You don't want to step on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. I
Yeah,
wouldn't I mean, obviously, fully 80% of what's imported into the US goes into a cocktail. We know that.
right.
But, and I also will say this on that first pass, it behaved like a much higher ABV. This behaved almost like a still strength in the mouth, because except for maybe you and I did. Well, you'll be visiting this distillery soon, Alto
Mhm.
Canto, and the high proof didn't behave anything like some of the high proofs that we've had before. Like
Right.
Corrido and where it's just intense. Or like I said,
Yeah.
Tapatio 110. That's just gonna the two sips and you're done. Okay, so.
Yeah.
Uh, but this one behaved like a higher proof, yet it was very complex. So I'm impressed as hell. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
By all accounts, get it. If you could find it at a lower price point, yes, by certainly. But that's our take on
Yeah.
Lagrimas La Loma. This is the La Loma vintage. I,
Yes. They're
I love the
both.
I love the raised lettering too on the label. It's very tactile. I
Yeah.
like that. And
Yeah.
and literally everything you need to know is kind of on the label except for what's on the website, which that kind of rounds out the info. Uh,
Yeah, for not having like a lot of like sticker on the bottle, there's actually a lot of information. You can't see it, but I mean, there's a whole paragraph here of good information, and then just all within the
oh
label
yeah, yeah, yeah.
is good information. So, and I even
Very
looked up like the name, like the Lagrimas del Valle, so Tears of the Valley, but they were
yes.
also thinking of tears in the sense of when
Well,
you're
legs and
distilling
tears.
the spirit. You know how the vapors go up and then collect and then re condense. So so just
I
tears
love
is
I love the shampoo bubbles on this thing. Look at how
oh yeah.
it just kind of rains. Yeah,
Oh,
I noticed that too. You can see now that's not that those are bubbles, okay? That's
yeah.
not residue. It's just
Yeah.
lingering bubbles. And
Yeah.
I
Here it
credit
is.
that to Chava
625.
Rosales
Yeah.
and the family. Congratulations to them. This is beautiful. Go get it. That's our take on Lagrimas, the La Loma vintage. But stick with us because we've got the Reposado version coming up. But that's our take. I'm Mike Morales here in Southern California. That gentleman out there is.
Bryce Taylor here in Austin, Texas.
You have been watching and listening to another edition of Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media on all of our channels and networks. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. We still call it Twitter. And whatever you do, folks, tomar sabiamente.
Sip wisely.